Bakura is back, and in order to win the Battle City tournament, he has obtained the D. Hello everybody, and welcome to another one of my deck profiles for Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dynasty series. It's me, Cooper, and we're going to be talking about Bakura today. Bakura was one of the people that failed in the first round of Duelist Kingdom, but it's okay because Battle City is where his deck really comes to life. A lot of the cards I gave him in Duelist Kingdom actually came from Battle City, but now I've just given him even more, and this deck that he uses is pretty damn good. Let's go ahead and start off by talking about his ace monster, the Dark Necrofear. The Dark Necrofear is a very interesting special summoning monster which lets you do this. If this card is in your hand, by removing from play 3 Fiend monsters in your graveyard, you could special summon this card to the field. At 2200 attack, it has okay attack. For a special summon, it's fine actually. 2200 attack for a special summon is pretty good. And 2800 defense, which is really goddamn solid. Honestly, Bakura loves his defense stat. And this is an ultimate monster because when it leaves the field, what it is able to do is take one of your opponent's monsters at the end phase that are face up and equip it to Dark Necrofear. In other words, Dark Necrofear is a change of heart in itself, but it's a snatch steal actually. It is a snatch steal in itself and takes one of your opponent's monsters. So say Dark Necrofear gets overpowered by a Dark Magician, it will then at the end phase take that Dark Magician permanently unless your opponent destroys it by spell with MST or destroys it by battle. It is a freaking amazing ace monster. It is so cool. And all of his deck is fiends, except for like 2 or 3 cards. They're all fiends, basically. There's like 2 cards that aren't fiends. It's so freaking good. So, getting on to Bakura's rare cards. His new rare cards are kind of interesting. His new rare cards are the Destiny Board, the D. This thing is a game-winning card, and that's not a joke. This thing has a game-winning effect like Exodia. It is super freaking awesome. What it does is when you flip it on the field, you will be able to use the Destiny Board ability where each end phase you can play one of the 5 spell cards in order to spell out the word death. And if you spell out the word death in your spell and trap card zone, it will take up all 5 slots of your spell and trap card zone. You will be able to win the duel instantly. It is freaking incredible. In other words, if you get Destiny Board on the first turn, you will have won the duel by turn 9 or 10. It's freaking awesome. Like, literally amazing. It's an amazing card. Obviously, if your opponent starts the duel early with like an MST or something, they can destroy it, and then you'll have to restart. But let me tell you right now, his deck came with 3 Destiny Boards, but only 1 copy of the spell cards in order to prevent bricking. In other words, if one of the spell cards gets sent to the graveyard, he can no longer win by Destiny Board, which is completely fine because he has other options. I guess compared to that, none of his other rare cards are that important. Like, I'm not even joking. He has other rare cards. I mean, I let him keep Change of Heart 1. I let him keep Graceful Charity, so it's not like he doesn't have rare cards. He has other tactical cards, but let's ignore those for now. The D is all we care about, right? Everyone in agreement? Say it out loud. Say it. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and get onto his attack stat. His attack stat is average. Compared to last season, his attack stat isn't even that bad. I know the new average is 1700, but as a gift from me, I have given him the Gilgarth, an amazing normal fiend monster with 1800 attack that belongs to Merrick Ishtar. But it's also for Bakura as well. He doesn't get a full set like Merrick does, he just gets like 1 or 2. But he does have the Gilgarth. On top of that, he has his special summon monster, Dark Necrofear, and his tribute monster, the Dark Ruler Hades. It's a single tribute monster with 2450 attack. That is correct. This card is stronger than Jinzo. He could beat a Jinzo in attack mode. It's freaking awesome. 2450, and it negates effects of the monsters that it destroys by battle, and other fiend monsters also do that too, as long as he's faced up on the field. Incredible. Dark Ruler Hadez is an incredible monster, and it barely inched up his attack. He still has Urlo Demise too, by the way. It just inched up his attack above, into the average zone, because he definitely was going to fall below average. A lot of these monsters are more about defense than they are about attack, including Dark Necrofear. Getting onto his defense stat, which we were just praising, his defense stat is above average by a lot. He's only missing 2 bars in his defense stat, and that's because a lot of his monsters are really freaking solid. He's got the Portrait Secret, which barely hits 15. He's got the Headless Knight at 1700. He's got the Gross Ghost at 1800. And of course, he has his other cards like the Earthbound Spirit at a solid 2000 defense. Very, very good defensive monsters. His defense stat is super solid. He even has Dark Necrofear at 2800 defense. The only reason it did not go higher than this is because his other monsters, like Dark Ruler Hadez, like the Earl of Demise, like Souls of the Forgotten, because for some ungodly reason he used that, he just can't quite hit it. It's fine. His deck is completely fine. That defense stat is super solid. And since he runs a Destiny board strategy, these defense monsters really do matter. Getting into his speed stat, that is where he falls apart. Yes, Dark Necrofear does give him 1 speed. He at least has that going for him. Dark Necrofear is the only reason he got anything into his speed stat. The rest of his monsters are set, pass. You set a monster, you set a trap, you pass. Or you set and you set your Destiny board and you just wait. This man is slow as fudge. He can't do anything. He just sits there. And to include, look, this is going to go into his skill stat as well, but to go into the speed stat, he runs the card the Dark Door, which means only 1 monster can attack during each battle phase, which slows down the duel heavily. It is really, really slow. At the end of the day, though, it doesn't matter. He doesn't mind a slow duel because that means Destiny board can win him the duel quickly. So his speed, he could actually get some speed by Destiny board winning the duel, but he has to slow down the duel in order for that to work. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh my god, why would he run Dark Door with Destiny board? He actually didn't have to have a problem with that, because you could just destroy your own Dark Door with one of your MSTs, and then you can make Destiny board happen. It actually still works really, really well. Getting into his skill stat is where things get interesting, because Bakura is the most skilled character in this tournament. This might be the first time I show you guys a perfect, well, ignoring the brick stat, a perfect stat. Bakura's skill stat is so high because he runs so many different strategies. He runs burn cards, he runs stall cards, and he runs an instant win card in Destiny board. Destiny board, by itself, gives him a perfect skill stat because guess what? It's a game-winning effect, and it's not even the hardest to pull off. You just gotta hope that your opponent doesn't pop one of the spell cards. Other than that, you're fine. And if they pop the trap card before the spells get out, just get another one. You have 2 more. You're fine. So, Bakura, the reason why your skill stat is so high is because, 1, Destiny board. 2, he still has Just Desserts. 3, he runs Ectoplasmer now, which can be used for burning if he can't win by Destiny board, he can win by Ectoplasmer. 4, he could stall the duel out with Dark Door. If he feels like there's a problem, he could Dark Door. 5, he runs Morphing Jar still. He gets that Morphing Jar out there, boom. Throws away a bunch of cards of his opponent, boom. Dark Door gets to be a deck out option now. Freaking incredible. And if he had to win by attack, he could, but his deck is not about attacking. It barely hits the average, to be honest. He has burn options, he has stall options, he has an instant win option. This is the skill master. This is goddamn Bakura. He can win this series, win this tournament with his skill alone. Screw the attack stat. He kind of needs the defense stat to make that skill stat work, but they complement each other very well. So that's why he gets the stats that he gets. Moving on to his brick stat, it's not the best brick stat we're going to see. Obviously, the brick stats are not nearly as bad as they were in Duelist Kingdom, and it's pretty obvious why. There's so many options now. But the reason his brick stat actually goes up a tick is because he runs 3 Destiny boards, because he runs Dark Necrofears, which don't do anything unless you already threw cards away in the graveyard. So drawing them can be a game-saving card, but also can be a throwaway card. He has Earl of Demise with Dark Ruler Hades, which 1 tributes don't break up your hand too much unless it's early in the duel, so that could also happen to you. At the end of the day, though, his deck is freaking solid. Bakura, compared to Duelist Kingdom, you are a god now. And the fact that I let you keep Change of Heart, Jesus Christ, he gets 1, though. He doesn't have 2. Is just freaking incredible. So, getting into Bakura's potential stat, his potential of winning this tournament is a solid 3.5 stars. I almost gave him 4 stars like Merrick, but I just couldn't do it because attack stats still matters, and the fact that he's slow as hell means that his opponent can probably build up their field faster than you can, and they can build up their attacking monsters, and if they can get rid of the Dark Door with an MST or the Destiny Board with an MST, they will just blow you up with the 5 monsters you let them summon because all you've been doing is defending. Obviously, you can take advantage of that with Dark Necrofear, so it's fine, but that's the reason why he gets the 1.5 star knockoff. His attacks just isn't that good. He can be overpowered pretty easily, but he can also take your power with Dark Necrofear and Change of Heart. So he will use it against you, which is why 3.5 stars. Win conditions, 3.5 stars. That skill stat, 3.5 stars. Amazing. Way above average. A full star above average. This man is a very big contender for winning the tournament. Last season, I said he was middle ground. This season, no. He's a winner. He can totally take this entire tournament. I would love to get Bakura if I could in this tournament, and I know any of my friends would too. That's going to be it for this deck profile. If you enjoyed it, please remember to like and subscribe, and please remember, everybody, if you get Bakura, you get the D.